What's going on, everybody? It's Phil Smith here again for another episode of WIN, your Wednesday Inspirational Nuggets. Now, last week we talked about trying times. A week before that, we talked about failure is an option. I'm giving you guys nuggets. I'm helping you guys build up for these storms that's heading your way. If you live in New York or these other states on the east side, you know about the storm, and you got to be ready for these storms. You got to be equipped, and that's what I'm doing. I'm equipping you guys so you can get through these storms. Nuggets I'm giving you is going to be your shovel. They're going to be your snow boots. They're going to be your coat. They're going to be your hat. The nuggets I'm giving you are going to help you get through the storm. So last week we talked about trying times, and I gave you two nuggets. Have faith, have patience. Hope you guys been building that solid foundation that I've been giving you since January 1st, 2014. Alright, and today we're going to talk about beating the odds. That's right, beating the odds. And you say, Phil, how you get that? My man Michael Flores DM'd me on Twitter. He was like, bruh, he's like, y'all faced with a situation right now. Can you talk about how to get over the odds? How can you tell me how to beat these odds? So I was like, no problem, bruh. This week's episode is for you. So Michael Flores, this week's episode is for you, bruh, and for everybody else that's in that situation where the odds are stacked against you and you gotta beat the odds. That's right, because we all got odds. We all looking at that mountain, it's like, and that mountain that's in front of you, that's the odd. That's the odd that you gotta beat. And you gotta have the mentality. It's either that mountain is big enough where you can't miss it, or that mountain is big enough where you scared of it. And that mountain is big enough that if I throw something or if I attack it, I can't miss it. And I'm going to give you these three nuggets so you can beat the odds, so you can get through that mountain. That's right. You're going to get through that mountain today. You're going to 2014, you're going to get through every mountain, every obstacle, every hurdle that comes in your way. You are going to get over it. All right? So let's kick this thing off with nugget number one. Nugget number one, stop procrastinating. That's right. Some of us are submitting ourselves in the same spot because we're procrastinating. That's right. You putting off things that you can handle today for tomorrow. No, tomorrow is promised to no man. Tomorrow has its own troubles. Today has its own troubles. So stop taking the troubles of today, putting on the troubles of tomorrow. Come on. How you just asking, you making that mountain that much harder to defeat because you keep stacking stuff on. You keep piling stuff on. Kind of like this snow we getting. It just added to the problem. That snow keep falling out the air. We running out of room to put the snow. And that's how we doing. We just shoveling and throwing it on top of more stuff. Stop procrastinating, people. Stop procrastinating and handle the day's tasks. Come on. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Come on, stop. Well, you not on Christmas Day when you get that gift, you're not going to wait till the 26th to open it. You're not going to wait till the 26th to open that gift. You're going to open it right there Christmas morning, right? So that's how we got to do. That's one nugget, how you're going to beat the odds. You're going to stop procrastinating. Stop putting off the day's task saying you can handle it tomorrow. Because tomorrow has its own troubles. All right? So nugget number one, stop procrastinating. All right? Nugget number two, baby, you got to have a plan. That's right. You got to have a plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I know y'all heard that quote. I know all my athletes heard that quote before. But you got to live by that. You got to have a plan. You got to have an agenda that you follow to a T. That's right. You got to have an agenda. When you go grocery shopping, you write down what you got to get. Because if you don't write down everything you got to do, when you go to that grocery store, everything you got to pick up, 9 times out of 10, you're going to forget one thing. And that one thing is going to be something that's very key for the supper that you may be trying to create that night. So you got to have a plan. You got to write it down. That's right. You got to write it down. So let's have a plan. Get your plan together on how you're going to beat the odds, on how you're going to get to the top of that mountain, on how you're going to make your vision a reality. Come on, people. Let's get a plan. Let's get a plan going. It's not hard. It's not hard. If you want to beat the odds, you want to get to that mountain, you want to make your vision a reality, you got to start with a plan. You got to start with a foundation. So let's get this plan going. Y'all know the story about David and Goliath, right? My man David, he had a plan. Everybody else had plans with David too. They was trying to dress him up into how they wanted him to be. They was putting on the gear. They was giving him a sword. And my man couldn't walk. He's like, man, I can't do this. I can't do this with the gear that y'all giving me. He said, I'm just going to be me, and I'm going to use this pouch, and I'm going to use these rocks. And my man had a plan. I'm going to use these rocks. I'm going to use this slingshot, and I'm going to give him a one-hitter quit. I'm going to hit him right in between the eyes. My man David had a plan on how he going to take down Goliath. And what did he do? Sure enough, he took it down. You know why? Because he had a plan. He had a plan, and that's what you have to do. You have to have a plan. So nugget number 2, have a plan. Nugget number 3, it's time to perform. That's right, nugget number 3 is performance. You stop procrastinating. You made a plan. Now it's time to put that plan to work. It's time to perform. It's time for you to step on that platform with your chest held out, your head held high, and it's time to perform. It's time to put on. That's right. It's time to put on all that hard work. Everything that you're in there cooking up in the lab, it's time for you to perform. That's how you're going to beat the odds. Your performance. You don't have a plan on how you're going to attack that mountain, on how you're going to make your vision a reality. Now all you got to do is perform, baby. All you got to do, perform. It's your time now. And the only way, and when you perform, let me tell you what's going to happen when you perform. When you perform, it's going to propel somebody else to perform. That's right. When you perform the plan that you have cooked up, you're going to help propel somebody else. That's what I'm doing. I'm helping to propel you guys to make your vision a reality. So we're going to beat the odds. We're going to beat the odds. But the only way we're going to beat the odds is when we stop procrastinating. We start planning. And we start to perform. You got to put on. You got to put on for that. You got to put on for your vision. That's right. You got to put on for your vision. You got to put on for that thing that you desire. Come on, people. So, let's recap those 3 nuggets that I gave you. Nugget number 1, stop procrastinating. That's right. Stop pouring that cement on yourself. Stop putting off the day's task for tomorrow. All right? Nugget number 2, start planning. Get in that lab and start cooking up something on how you're going to beat these odds, on how you're going to make it to the mountaintop, on how you're going to make your vision a reality. Nugget number 3, time to perform, baby. The big lights is on. Now it's time for you to execute your plan. So let's do it, people. Let's beat the odds. Let's get to the mountaintop and let's make our vision a reality. I love you guys. God bless. See you next week. Peace.